Hello and welcome to the channel, friends of Sudoku. I'm looking at the El País Experto Sudoku puzzle of May 5th, 2024. I'm not sure when you will be seeing this video. Probably sometime in June when I'm scheduled for a cross-Europe motorcycle trip. But I'm here now and I am going to try to solve this puzzle, and hopefully without using any pencil marks. I can see that a 9 blocks down here and a 9 blocks across here. So a 9 must go either here or here, and therefore in one of these two squares as well. A 7 blocks across here and a 7 blocks down here. One of these squares must be a 7 blocking across. The 7 also blocks across. So a 7 for row 9 and must go in one of these two positions. Here's a nice observation. For row 3, we need to find a 4, 6, 7, and an 8, don't we? There's a 4, 6, and a 7 blocking this square, so this must be an 8. Now 4, 6, and 7 for these squares. 7 must go here or here because of this 7 blocking. 4 here or here, and 6 here or here. Three blocking down and across, 3 goes here or here. Two blocks here, so one of these is a 2 blocking down, 2 blocks up, and 2 must go here or here. 3 blocks up, so a 3 certainly has got to go here. And here now we'll be looking for a 2 and a 4. And since this 4 blocks up here, the ghost 4 here blocks down, this 4 blocks across, one of these two squares must be a 4. 4, 7, 8, 9 to complete column 8. 4, 8, and 9 block here, so this has got to be a 7. Now a 4, 8, and a 9 for these squares. 8, 4, 9. I don't know if I can solve that yet, so I'm not even going to try. But I have 2 3s blocking these 6 squares, and I have this 3 blocking this square, so the corner here certainly has got to be a 3. Now we have a 4 here and here blocking these squares. We have this 4 blocking this square, so this square has got to be a 4. 2, 4 here, 6 and 7 block here, so 6 and 7 must go in 2 of these 3 squares. We do have a 5 here, because this 5 blocks across, this 5 blocks across, this 5 and this 5 block here, so here's a 5. We got to view the entire grid, don't we? Otherwise we miss stuff. So since one of these must be an 8, and we have an 8 blocking down here and an 8 blocking over here, this is an easy 8. Now we're going to have an 8 here or here in row 9. And a 1, 5, and a 9 here. This is a 1, 5. 9 goes here or here, of course. Fives are now pretty restricted. We have a 5 blocking here and here. So one of these must be a 5. We also need to find a 1 and a 6 and a 9 for the row. So 5 and 9, this is a 1, 6. I guess that's it. We need to find a 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 for row 9. There's a 2, 7, 8 here, so this is a 1, 9. 7 must go here or here, 8 here or here, 9 we don't really know about, and the 2 is also pretty weak. We also have a 6-7 pair here. So 6-7 somewhere here and 6-7 here. But we have a 2 for this square, and this is how we find it. This 2 blocks across, this 2 blocks down. One of these 2 squares must be a 2 blocking across. This 2 blocks across. This 2 blocks up. A ghost 2 up here blocks down. Here's a 2. A 3 now must go here or here. And a 1, 5, and a 9 for the column I don't know about. Well, the 9 here and here, of course. But the 1 and the 5, I don't know. A 6 must go here or here in row number 6. I want to have a look at this column here, in particular this square. One thing that occurs to me is that this square, we know it's going to be a 4 and 9. We have a 4 and a 9 blocking here and here. So we know that this is a 4 and 9, and we know that a 4 and a 9 cannot go in any of these squares here. Therefore, now I want to look at this square. It seems to me that it must be a 4 or a 9 as well, because 4 and 9 cannot go here, and 4 and 9 cannot go here, because 4 and 9s are restricted to these 3 squares. So if this is a 4 or a 9, there is no other place in this block number 6 that can be a 4 or a 9. We have a 4 and a 9 blocking here, so these 2 squares must be a 4 and a 9 pair. And that has ramifications for a 5. Because this square now can't be a 5, because we just figured out that it must be a 4 or a 9. This 5 blocks down, this 5 blocks over, and therefore we know now that this must be a 5. And that puts a 5 in one of these 2 squares, doesn't it? And also in this square, because this 5 blocks down, this 5 blocks across, this 5 blocks down, so here is a 5. And I believe this was a 1, 5 square, because we need a 1, 5, and a 9 for these squares. Now we have a 5 and a 9 blocking here, so this has got to be a 1. Now we have a 1, 3 here, we have a 1, 3 here, so these 2 squares must be a 1 and a 3. And these must be a 5 and a 9. The 5 blocks over, giving me a 9 here and a 5 here, like so. That was an awful lot of digits all of a sudden. So let's see where we are at now. Here a 2, 3, and a 6, I believe. So this is a 2 or a 6 square. And now we know that this must be a 7, because we need a 7 for this row. And clearly this 7 blocks here, this 7 blocks here, so a 7 must go here, because one of these must be a 7. And since this 7 blocks here, the 7 honor goes to this square. Now we need to find a 6 and a 4 for these 2 squares, and the 6 blocks here, so here's a 4 and here's a 6. That gives us a 4 up here, of course, and therefore here, and a 2 must go here. Now a 6, 7, and a 5 for these squares. The 5 and a 6 block here, so here is a 7. 5 blocks here, so here's a 6, and here therefore must be a 5. 6 blocks across here and down here, so one of these is a 6 blocking up. This 6 blocks down, this 6 blocks across, here is a 6. 1, 6, and 9. 9 blocks here, so this is a 1, 6. 9 goes here or here. So what now? We are no closer yet, I think, to the 4, 8, 9 here and the 1, 3 here. So I need to dig somewhere else. Let's see about a 7, shall we? The 7 blocks up here, the 7 blocks across here. Surely one of these must be a 7 blocking up, this 7 blocks across, so we have a 7 here. Now a 1, 2, and an 8 for these 3 squares. So this is a 1, 8. 2 here or here, but we knew that. 8 here or here, we also knew that. So let's get back for a moment to the 4, 9 pair we had here. What else is missing in the row? A 1, 3, and a 7. 7, of course, blocks here, and 7 blocks here, so this must be a 7. Now a 1, 3 here, and a 1, 3 here. But now that we took away this square from being a possible 3 candidate, we have a 3 blocking down here, and we have a 3 blocking across here. We know that one of these must be a 3. And this goes to 3 blocks down, this 3 blocks across, this 3 blocks across. So we have a 3 here. Now, here we need a 2 and a 6. The 6 blocks down, so we do have a 2 here now and a 6 here. That gives us a 6 up here as well, and a 6 here. Here a 1 and an 8, and therefore a 2 and a 7 here, and a 1 and a 9 here. Also a 1 and a 9 candidate in this square. Let's have a look at the 4 blocking down here and across here. We have a 4 here. We know that this was a 4, 8 because we have a 4, 8, 9 here missing, that is. And now we have a 4 and a 9 blocking this square, so it must be an 8. And here's then a thing. This 8 blocks across here, this 8 blocks across here. We will have an 8 either here or here. We also have an 8 either here or here, don't we? Therefore, one of these must be an 8. We also know that one of these must be a 9 because we have a 9 here and here blocking up. So we got 8 and 9 here, and that leaves only one digit to fill, and that is a 1. It must go here. Now we have a 1 here, and we have an 8 here. That gives us an 8 here, of course, as well. And the last number here must be a 2. This 1 blocks here, so here is a 1. We know that a 3 had to go in one of these squares. Now we took away this square and gave it to an 8, so this must be a 3. Ergo, we have a 1 here and a 3 here. This 1 and this 1 block here and here, so we have a 1 in this square. This 1 blocks down and this 1 blocks over, so a 1 must go here. 2 1s block up, 1 1 blocks across, a 1 here. This was a 1 9, now it's just a 9. This was an 8 9, now it's just an 8, and this is a 9. 8 blocks up, giving me an 8 here and a 2 here. That gives me a 2 for this square as well, and a 9 for this. And here a 7. That gives me a 7 for this square and a 9 for this. 9 blocks over, giving me a 4 here. Remember the 4, 9 we had here? And now we have a 9 for this square. And that's it for this expert puzzle by El País. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.